All right, everyone, welcome back. I am so excited for this deep dive. It's all about TeselaGen,
Hmm.
but specifically how well it works with other tools.
Mm.
Like no software is an island.
Right, right. Like you've got your databases, your analysis tools.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And today, we're going to see how TeselaGen fits into that whole picture. We've got this document here, and it's like
Yeah.
all about TeselaGen's interoperability
Oh,
features.
cool. Interoperability. That's a big word.
It is. But
Ugh.
don't worry, we're going to break it down and make it super easy to understand. So think of it this way. If you're the kind of person who wants to get stuff done quickly, loves learning new things, and wants those like aha
Those
moments,
light bulb moments.
yeah, this one's for you. We're going to cover some pretty cool stuff.
Like what?
Like how TeselaGen actually connects with all these other tools and databases. We'll even talk about this thing called a microservice framework, which honestly sounds pretty intimidating.
It does sound a little scary.
But trust me, we'll make it clear. And by the end, you'll totally get why it matters,
Yeah.
especially if you're doing like any kind of scientific research.
Okay, so first things first. Let's talk about data. Because, I mean, in science, data is everything, right?
Totally. But sometimes it feels like, you've got data in one format over here, and then the tool you need uses a completely different format. It's like a mess.
Ugh, tell me about it.
Yeah?
So many hours wasted converting files. But that's one thing that really stood out to me about TeselaGen. They seem to get it. Like, they understand that data should flow easily.
Okay, so they like acknowledge the problem,
Yeah.
but do they actually solve it?
From what I see in this document, yeah, they do. They support a whole bunch of file formats right out of the box, so you can just import your data and get to work.
That is huge. Seriously. No more messing around with conversions.
Exactly. No more scrambling for that obscure plugin or spending hours reformatting spreadsheets.
Like they value my time.
Right. And they've got this thing called the data warehouse service, which sounds kind of boring, but it's actually pretty awesome.
Data warehouse. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So imagine you're working with these massive data sets, right? Like huge genomic data or tons of protein sequences. That can really slow your computer down.
Oh, yeah. My poor laptop sounds like it's going to take off sometimes.
I feel you. But this data warehouse service, it basically connects TeselaGen to these super powerful databases like BigQuery.
BigQuery. Remind me, what's that?
It's a database on Google Cloud. Like, it's designed for handling massive amounts of data really, really quickly.
Okay, Google Cloud. So like cloud computing. But how does that help me, the scientist, sitting here at my desk?
Well, because now you have all the power of BigQuery right at your fingertips through TeselaGen without having to set it all up yourself. It's like having a supercomputer in your pocket.
Okay, that's starting to sound pretty powerful. So we've got the easy data importing and exporting. We've got the connection to BigQuery for like heavy lifting. What else?
So think about all the other tools you use, like NCBI, ICE, Benchling.
Oh, yeah. All the classics.
TeselaGen can actually connect with those too.
Wait, really? Like directly?
They use these things called webhooks to talk to other systems.
Webhooks.
It might sound kind of techy, but it's really just like a messenger. Think of it this way. You need a specific DNA sequence from NCBI.
Right. So usually I'd have to go to NCBI, search for the sequence, download it, and then upload it into TeselaGen.
Exactly. But with a webhook, TeselaGen basically says, hey, NCBI, I need this sequence. And NCBI sends it straight over. No manual downloading or uploading.
Whoa, that is slick. So like less clicking around for me.
Way less clicking. And setting it up isn't even that hard. They've got this integration server thing that makes it pretty straightforward.
Integration server. Okay. Another new term.
It's basically like the control center for all these integrations. And honestly, you don't even need to be a coding whiz to set it up.
So even I could manage it. That's saying something. But okay, this is all about like getting data in and out of TeselaGen. What about actually controlling other tools from within TeselaGen?
Oh, you absolutely can do that. Like, let's say you run an analysis in TeselaGen, and based on the results, you want to kick off a simulation in a different tool. You can totally set that up.
Wow, that's starting to sound really powerful. It's like automating my entire workflow.
Exactly. And if you are into coding and all that, they've got even more options, like a REST API, a command line interface,
Oh yeah, the CLI.
and even a Python API client.
So like no matter how you like to work, they've got you covered.
Okay, we've got to talk about this microservice framework thing. I admit I'm a little intimidated.
It sounds fancy, but honestly, it's just a really clever way to run complex tasks. Think of it like this. You've got a super intense simulation you need to run, It's going to take hours, maybe even days to finish. Yeah. And my computer would be basically unusable during that time.
Right. But with this microservice framework, you can run that simulation inside TeselaGen's system. So it's not bogging down your computer.
Oh, okay. So it's like offloading the heavy lifting to their servers.
Exactly. Plus, it all runs behind their firewall, so it's more secure.
Okay. Security is always a plus.
And here's the really cool part. The microservice framework is designed to handle like a ton of tasks at once. It can even distribute them intelligently, so things get done way faster.
So it's like a whole team of virtual assistants all working on my project at the same time.
That's a great way to put it. And they even have a GitHub repo with examples, so you don't have to start from scratch.
Oh, that's super helpful. So, okay, let's bring it all back to our listeners. Like, what does all this actually mean for someone doing real-world research?
Well, I think the big takeaway here is that TeselaGen isn't just a standalone platform. It's designed to fit into your existing workflow. It's like a hub where you can connect all your favorite tools.
So whether you're a bioinformatician who loves to code or a lab scientist who just wants to analyze data, TeselaGen can adapt to your needs. It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is. And it makes you wonder, as science gets more and more data-driven and we're all using so many different tools, could TeselaGen's approach, this whole interoperability thing, actually change the way we do research?
That's a really great question. Like, it's not just about convenience anymore. It's about enabling faster discoveries, maybe even breakthroughs
Yeah.
that wouldn't have been possible before.
Exactly. And who knows what amazing things we'll be able to do when our tools can all talk to each other seamlessly.
Well, that's something to think about. And on that note, we're going to wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We hope you learned something new, and as always, stay curious.